So the fourth lesson for Chapter 7 deals with dividing polynomials by monomials. Again, before we get into this division, I would like to do a review of Lesson 3. So if you could do those 3 questions by yourself, and just check your answer with the answer that I have. And if you have your work shown, that's what I'm looking for, right? I'm going to give you the solutions, so you make sure that the work matches the solution. So there are your 3 solutions. Double check that they match what you have, and if not, look at your work and see what went wrong. And if you have questions, we will check them tomorrow. Okay, so dividing a polynomial by a monomial. So we're going to start just by dividing a binomial by a monomial. And again, we're going to use the building method, or building a model, or sketching out a model. And so this is the area method. And so with dividing, the numerator is the area, and the denominator is one of the side lengths. Doesn't matter which side length, as long as we look for the other side length. So we are going to sketch this out and find the missing side length. So if you could either build this with tiles or sketch it, keeping in mind we need to arrange it so that one of the lengths is 2x. So I'm going to make this length 2x, and I'm going to arrange the tiles so that it matches up. Okay, by the magic of television, I have created this in a flash. It's magic. So one of the lengths is 2x. So this length is 2x. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x squared tiles and 8 negative x tiles. So now we need to figure out what the other side length is for our division. So if we're looking along this side length, we have x and x and x and -1, -1, -1, -1. So we have 3x minus 4. So 6x squared minus 8x divided by 2x equals 3x minus 4. And so the way that we can check is by multiplying the 2 side lengths together. So we're going to check by going 2x times 3x minus 4. Okay, so 2x times 3x gives us and then we're going to go 2x times -4. So when we multiply this out, we get 6x squared, and positive 2 times -4 gives us -8x. So 6x squared minus 8x is the same. Yay, we did it. Okay, we're going to build the second one and do the exact same thing. So build it out, make one of the side lengths 3x. So let's say this one this time is going to be 3x. So make sure you line up your tiles, and you're only lining up tiles that have the same length side by side. Okay, so we built it. My x lengths are a little bit off there, so I need to fix those. So we'll do that. Okay, so we have a length of, this is a length of 3x along this side, and we have an area of 1, 2, 3x squared, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's, so we need to find the other side length. So the other side length has a length of x, and a length of 1, and a length of 1. So together that makes x plus 2. So when we divide these, we get x plus 2. The way that we check it is to multiply the side lengths. So 3x times x plus 2. So 3x times x gives us 3x squared, 3x times 2 plus 6x. That's what we started with. We're good to go. Looking at our last example, 8x squared minus 2x. So I have 8x squareds there. I need to figure out where to add the minus 2x in. So I'm going to grab one of those, and I'm going to grab one of those. Okay. And we need to make a rectangle. So if I add the negative x down here, I need to add 2 of them. If I add 2 of them in here, I haven't made a full row. So if I add in this way, 1, and then a second one, there's the 2 of them, and I've made a full rectangle. So you need to make sure that you're building your area so that it makes a complete rectangle, that you don't have random pieces off the end. There we go. So we have a length of 2x. We have an area of 8x squared minus 2x, so we need to find the other side length. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4x, and then we have negative 1. So 8x squared minus 2x divided by 2x gives us 4x minus 1. Let's double check it. 2x times 4x minus 1, 8x squared, 2x times negative 1, negative 2x. That's what we started with, so we're good. Okay, I always want you double checking your work on these ones for me, please. Okay, so of course there's a way without building and drawing that we can try. And so it says every term in the numerator is divided by the denominator, the divisor. Be sure to apply the exponent laws properly to variables. So when you're dividing the same variable, the same base, we subtract the exponent. So making sure that we do that. And we're keeping in mind numbers with numbers, variables with variables. And so each term in the numerator is divided. So I'm going to think of splitting this into terms again. I'm going to split it into two separate fractions. Because each term is being divided. Okay? And so now we're thinking numbers with numbers, variables with variables. So 15 divided by 3, that's going to give us 5. X squared divided by x, well, x to the power of 2, take away x to the power of 1, gives us x to the power of 1. Negative 12 divided by 3, negative 4. X divided by x cancels out. So we're left with 5x minus 4. Taking a look at the second one, we're going to do the same thing. And when we divide, we're thinking numbers with numbers, variables with variables. So negative 2 divided by 2 gives us negative 1. I'm just going to write the negative sign. And t squared divided by t gives us 1t, t to the power of 1. Plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. T divided by t cancels out. So we're left with negative t plus 2. Okay, looking at C. Again, we're going to set this up. 12x squared over 3x and negative 6x. Y over 3x. And then if we're dividing, 12 divided by 3 gives us 4. X squared divided by x to the 1 gives us an x. Negative 6 divided by 3 gives us negative 2. The x's cancel and we're left with 1y. So 4x minus 2y. I'm going to ask you to do D and F and E on your own. And we will double check those in class tomorrow. I will do this example with you though. So this example says, Anita used the following method to simplify an expression. Do you see any errors in her work? Show a correct solution beside her work. So generally speaking, when you see questions like this, there is an error. I'm asking you to figure it out and find it and correct it. Sometimes the easiest way is to just solve it on your own, not even look at what they did wrong. So cover up their work and just write it out again. So let's do that. So 9k squared minus 3k divided by 3. I don't care what any of this is. I'm going to ignore it for now. Okay, so how should we do this? Well, we need to split it into two separate fractions because we have a binomial on top. If it was a trinomial on top, we would split it into 3 fractions. Okay, and now we're thinking numbers with numbers. Well, 9 divided by 3 is 3. There's no k in the denominator, so the k's are unaffected. 3 divided by 3 gives us 1, so negative 1k or negative k. So we should have 3k squared minus k. That's the correct answer. Now let's go back and see what they did. So I hope you didn't scribble on yours too much. So let's go back. So when we look at the second step, that looks okay. Their second step matches our second step. But when we look at their third step, they thought that there was a k in the denominator, right? So this step is wrong because the k shouldn't be affected. because there's no k in the divisor or in the denominator. So that's it for lesson 4. Please give those questions a try that I asked you to, and we'll check your work tomorrow.